Hello and welcome. My name is Trismegistus, and today we're going to be playing some Factorio Space Age. But first off, as has become the tradition, just the most recent Friday Facts was 436 Lost in Translation, which was all about some tweaks Harissa has made to the search algorithm such that they can now work with, what do you call them? Characters. So letters that have accents on them, basically. And also a call out for a contribution for translations. If that's something you want to do and are able to do, then they have a crowding project that you can contribute local translations on. Yeah, cool. And the video this week lost me 4 viewers. I don't know what happened, but there you go. Not 4 viewers, 4 followers. Cool. I think that's all I want to say. I mean, it's very simple Friday Facts, and yeah, that was it basically. So back to the game. Dooby-dooby-doo. We are literally exactly where we were. I haven't done anything on this save file. I did have a couple of good sessions earlier in this week, playing on my other save, my personal save. But I sort of exhausted myself. I kind of went a bit hard on it, and I needed to take a break from Factorio. I can't remember what we were doing. I think we've set up some tungsten mining by the looks of things, which is good. We have a sleeping train, excellent. It's dropping stuff off, which I've not connected because obviously I'm waiting to see what I'm building, I guess, and what are we actually requesting in here. 4,000. Which presumably is 2 train loads. Does a train hold 2,000? Looks like it holds 2,000 to me. It does indeed. Cool. Excellent. And then here we're planning out the orange pop production by the looks of things. And we need to make that stuff. Okay. Okay. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a notification because I was doing some screen captures for thumbnails, and I got a notification telling me each time I did that the demolisher, is it around Nalvis? It's around Nalvis, was struggling to have things in its inventory. There's got to be some way. Well, I have realised that you can actually make automated requests into the logistics system, into these things here, but I don't think you can do auto trashing on platforms, which seems like an oversight. So if we do a little bit of tidying up and cleaning up, because you see it does it sends up these full sacks and all this sort of stuff, and of course the overflow counts as an entire thing, and these platforms I built are not really able to cope with lots and lots of excess items, you see. Now, thankfully, because we are around Nalvis, it's not such a problem. Have we got any random excess ones? Get rid of them, I guess. Any sort of doubled up half stacky ones? Guess we could get rid of them, maybe? So that should free up a bit of room. I don't know why. I mean, this one doesn't seem too bad, but I guess maybe it was another one that was moaning about being full or something. It applies for all of them. It's like it seems to be a bit of a problem in a sense that I need to work out how to solve. I mean, the obvious solution, the very simple one, is just make the inventory bigger on the platforms. It feels like dynamic requests might be a way to go as well. It is around Volcanus, isn't it? Yeah. That leaves plenty of room anyway. And what about the Falgora Express? Where are you? Oh, you're at Falgora. Okay. Yeah, I think I need a better ship design is one of the things, but I don't think we're going to do that today. So, I guess we were looking at making tungsten plate. Excellent. And how much tungsten plate do these need? Now, did I have... the problem was we don't have anyone or anything making foundries, do we? So I was actually going to have 4 of these, I think. Because that would give me then 0.4, 0.8, 1.2, oh, 1.6 actually. So nearly 100 and something, 110 or something, 100 per second, per minute rather. Cool. But that would mean we need 0.48, so we would need two of these per second. This in theory could make one. Now of course we want more because we want to be shipping these around as well because they're a useful thing. But if I for the time being going to just plop them in like this. I don't know that these can get built because I think my bots are off and there shouldn't be any of these in the system. What else does it need? So it just needs tungsten ore, but it needs molten iron. So it would need 2.23 tungsten ore per second, which would be 510 per second. So it would need the entire kind of ish belt. No, it's not quite a belt, is it? 2/3 of a belt. But it's still quite a lot compared to how much we're bringing in. I don't know if we've got a bit of a boost we could do in terms of red belts, maybe, and think about these as red belts. And then I don't think we've got red belts is the thing, but we shall see. No, we've not got any red belts. I could manufacture them, or we could just set something up very, very temporarily. Get some on the go. Guess we could. I've got requesters, that's good. Okay. And we could just pop a few in there. Just, you know, cap that off. Do something like that. And then red belt. Copy that over. I don't imagine we've particularly got gears, but we can kind of sort that. I go in. I bet a foundry would be better making these, but it also needs liquid iron. So you're not going to request. Oops, that you're going to request iron plate if we got any. Should have some. Put some prods modules in there. I don't know. I was thinking about power then, but we're drowning in power, aren't we? So yeah, it's able to make a few red belts. Don't know how much iron we've actually got in stock. Oh, 1300. Okay, cool. That's fine. Righty-ho, righty-ho. Cool. Yes, so hopefully it will replace them. And we could eventually, as noted, like hand-built. Well, I could just actually do that now, couldn't I? We do a fast splitter. Wherever you've gone, there you are. Like that. So then that'll take some tungsten up to there. We would also need to provide it with molten iron. Okay. How much molten iron? We would need what's effectively 6, 12, 18, 24. So we would need 24 molten irons. And we have lots of lovely lava here. So if we were to just say put one in, or we were to say make where is the recipe? Because it's the lava one, isn't it? Molten iron from lava, there we go. So we'd need more calcite. We know we've got calcite there. In fact, maybe I should just put this over there, but we do a split as well. Let's do a split. So how much in theory would you do? You'd make 100 per second without any beacons in or any modules or anything like that. Wow, okay. So we'd have to get rid of the stone again. But wow, okay. And offshore pumps, of course, are... is that there? Because that's a good place for that to line up. Really could do with being the other way around. Where's the offshore? So that then can go... Or if I turn it around that way, would that work better? There we go. Right. I'm listening to the soundtrack. You know, the proper soundtrack on the you know, that you can buy today. While I was cleaning, it's I don't know. I have mixed feelings, if I'm totally 100% honest. Some of the tracks I don't really like, as noted. I'm not a massive fan of the Factorio music, like in general. Oh, it needs a cow side, doesn't it? But I don't know. It's like it's a proper soundtrack in a sense. That's a weird thing to say, but you know, it's like actual music tracks and stuff like that, which I don't know. I like, you know, I like the majority. It was a one called Pentapod that was really, really good. I really like that just as a song. And there, yes. And there's, you know, like these tracks as well, but like this one. It's right why I started blathering on about it, because it's a bit on the epic side for me. As a soundtrack for a game, it's full on sort of thing. You know, a lot of it. It's sort of a lot of it's quite complicated to listen to as well. Which I say, I think probably would work. Maybe because ideally we want the. In fact, I don't have an output, do I? Am I going to belt it out? I think I am. Actually, probably need them closer. But yeah, it's a bit sort of like full on. I mean, you know, say, and I get where some other music's in a sense coming from, what it's trying to achieve and what it's doing, but it does get a bit sort of heavy in a sense. It's listening music rather than dropping that back, because I'm kind of thinking maybe we should have belt of the old stuff there, just as a thing. But yeah, sorry, so it's sort of mixed feelings for me. It's sort of, I do like it, but do I want to listen to tracks that are so full on all the time? You know, while playing the game, especially since I tend to play it for very long sessions. Cool. Hello, Smosk. How you doing? Hi. When I just woke up, I went to bed at 9 AM. Crikey. Went to bed at 9 AM. Blimey. What were you up doing? Not been up that type of lateness for very, very many years, me. Probably a bit of an old man now. Not that I ever really did it when I was young either. I just sort of crash out, basically. Do that there. Ever so slightly too far. Okay. Go on, let's do that. In fact, actually then, if that's a good place, there we go. Perfect. Almost like I planned it. Cool. Cool. So we can get it making some of that, I guess, can't we? If we just hook all this up. Because that's useful stuff and we need it for making more foundries. Can I hand make foundries? No, I can't. Oh, of course they need lube, don't they? So that makes sense. But we need the other one anyway. Tungsten carbide, not this. Got that wrong. Okay. No, I never put that splitter in, did I? There we go. Gonna need a few more of them, I guess. Pop them in. Cool. So that's one of the ones we want. The other one, your tungstens of your whatever it's called, carbide. Well, let's put the machine there for the second. Where is that? Oh, is that not made in? Ah, okay. My memory, it has failed me. So, what do we want? We want that one. Oh, of course, tungsten carbide. Yeah, I need carbon, don't I? It's made in an assembly machine, is it? Wow, that's interesting. Carbon was from sulfur plus acid? Plus coal, I think. Is that right? Is that the recipe? There we go. So we need more sulfuric acid, which we've got absolute gallons of. More coal, again, gigantic patch of. So that's simple. But I need to be thinking in terms of assembly machines, not foundries. How very archaic. So, if we're doing that recipe, now we want, well, let's have a look. How many does it want? I'm afraid I can't pronounce that username over on YouTube. That's Nassan, maybe? By legendary science, how to use in space. How to use it? Do you mean? I'm not sure what you mean by that. So, you can obviously make legendary science by putting. So this here, we could have quality modules in it, and that would give us quality science packs. You would then just launch it up in a rocket, I guess. Just send it up to your platform in rockets, and then you can build labs, I believe, on platforms. I'm not entirely sure. They were kind of humming and hawing about that, as to whether they would kind of allow it. Let's see if it'll. What would it actually do? Are you moving around, or are you just stopped? You're stopped. Where are you stopped though? At Volcanus. Oh, you're here. Okay. Maybe we could use the demolisher. But you were able to. In fact, no. Let's do it on there. Yeah, we could get this to order up a lab effectively because it's not going anywhere. But you can't do the biolabs in space. Those have to be built on Volcanus. Where am I looking for? There we go. So if I was to just pop a lab there, it'll kind of order one up, and we can see if it'll actually build it. Signs are good. Playing AC Odyssey. All right. Is it any good? I don't think I've ever actually played an Assassin's Creed game. I own several because they gave a few of them away during COVID, but so I don't think I've ever actually played one. Hello, Senna. Greetings. Welcome, welcome. Now I want to make my own RPG as I feel a little of are either so too much story, like it can really only go one way, or it's not a good story. Yeah, I know. I mean, because Assassin's Creed has that whole bonkers. It's like, I don't know. They sort of tried to justify the whole, historical thing with that bizarre. Let's bring one in. That whole bizarre. What was it called? Abstergo, is it, or something? Where it's like, yeah, you're sort of, in some virtual reality machine controlling your ancestors, and it goes bonkers with the whole, oh, it's not them, is it? I keep doing that. With the whole, so if there was a bacon there, say, ancient elders and all this sort of progenitor race and all this sort of stuff. It goes like mad sci-fi, doesn't it, Assassin's Creed? But part of the problem, I'll be honest, I have this, like, I don't know what you call it, like aversion. I don't really like meleeing games. I was much more of a shooter player, and of course Assassin's Creed is like purely melee. There's not really, well, so I'm sure you can use spears and arrows and all sorts of stuff like that. And I know some of them are set more modern times than that, but to me, the games are, you know, about stealth, which I'm rubbish at in any game ever, and melee combat, which I don't really enjoy. So I never really went for them, to be honest with you. I was more Far Cry than Assassin's Creed for Ubisoft open world games, basically. So we would need carbon, we would need the tungsten, and I didn't actually look at how much I would need, did I? So we would need 0.72. Okay. 0.72. And that gives 1.25. Okay, so we can maybe put some... Oh, do we not have any more speed 2s? Okay. And I can't make them. Interesting. Do we not have any over here? Got all this rubbish in these blowing. Oh. Can't make them. Okay. So we have... That's me, isn't it? Not the platform. It's because it's not requesting in 2s. And it looks like we've run out of stuff about. Has it really chewed through all of that iron plate? Crikey. Crikey. So I guess we could, because we should have plenty of level 2s on now. Let's have a look. Let's have a quick look. Oh look, it's all sort of stopped. A tiny bit of bot action here. What's going on? What are you doing? Taking a red circuit somewhere. Where are you taking it? Up to the... That has the feeling of maybe being something I've left uncapped. Got a lot of level 2 batteries, haven't I? So, yeah. Oh, there you go. There's something that's not been capped. So, got more level 2. I mean, thankfully, we can convert them into 318. Whoops. We can now convert them into level 3s, so they're not completely wasted. Are they all capped otherwise? So you've got a limit. Have we not got... Oh, no, we don't, do we? Don't get level 2 thingies until later. You've got a limit. Why are you going? You're going less than 20. Wow. That's a lot of... yeah. So it's not made us... Oh, I bet it has made a bunch of quality ones. But it'll have taken them and put them in. There's another chest that's requesting them in. But there you go. Mysterious bot activity hints at uncapped chests. And ironically, I think it was batteries that I left uncapped as well by accident. What was I doing? I was looking to see if we had plenty of modules. So, down the bottom here. Level 1s, level 1s, level 1s. Why do you have... Oh, you don't. It's just weirdly shown. 14, 6. Is that it? 90. Oh, we're only doing 50. Wow, okay. Don't know why we've only kept that at 50 then. I guess it was trying to avoid strain on the base. Yeah, we want more on this. We want a lot more on that, my friend. That's the level 2, isn't it? That's level 2 as well. Oh, yeah, that one. Have we got more speed level 2s than we have? Level 2, level 2. Here we go. Let's give the Navis base something to do, make it feel like it's worthwhile. Cool. What we're doing. So what we're going to do is we're going to think we could just get rid of level 1s, couldn't we? And say, bring level 2s instead. So I get a better handle, I think, on managing logistics on planets, I think. Oh, hello, Police Projects. How you doing? It's okay. I feel it's a bit too big, or it's a little annoying to move around. Yeah. I think bloat, as it were, is... I don't know, it's a bit of a weird thing, because if you sort of... I don't know, they always go the Ubisoft open world games for like just more. You know, there's just more and more and more. And I guess there's like a value thing. There's like a value proposition to that of, well, you buy a Ubisoft open world game and you know you've got, you know, hundreds of hours worth of content. And a lot of people are looking for that. They're looking for, I want to do a lot, even if it is just the same thing over and over again. They want that value, which is why I think they put it in and cater to it. But I think a lot of people are now just sick of doing infinite quests that, you know, just meaningless fetch quests, as it were. I wonder how I will look like the new Path of Exile soon. At the moment, I'm still 100% in Space Age, currently trying to figure out elevated rails a bit more. Yeah. Thank you for the Lux Mods. I'm afraid there's no specific command for that, but enjoy your time. We're playing Assassin's Creed if you're doing more, or having a sleep. Sounds like might be a good idea. Hello, Senna. How you doing? Welcome. Oh, is it like that already? No. But greetings as well. And Aquilo sure is harder to build on than other planets. Barely even gotten started there. Seems like you want quite good logistics of other materials there to get started. Yeah, it's a real challenge, Aquilo. It's and it's meant to be. And it's sort of, you know, the whole end game is like almost completely separate, really, from Aquilo. If you can build Aquilo such that you can get to the edge, as it were. That's why they've set that as the win condition, rather than, you know, you have to go 50,000 kilometres or something towards Shattered Planet, which it could be. I mean, the horse feels so slow at times as it can't run in some places, really. That is an interesting choice, I must say. I was thinking about getting, well, not unfortunately, but Stalker 2 comes out in a couple of weeks. So I suspect that'll hopefully be my, what do I call it, Christmas game, basically. If I get the chance to have a Christmas game and just sort of vegetate in front of the thing for that. Because I loved the Stalker games when they were the thing, as it were, back in the day. Used to love the old THQ games. Because they're always a bit more different, a bit more imaginative, you know. But yeah, so I thought about maybe doing Star Wars Outlaws instead, you know. Because, I don't know, I quite like a grindy Ubisoft game. I think, because it's quite a while since I really played one. Wasn't massively impressed with the last couple of Far Cry's, to be honest with you. But, yeah, fine. They just weren't particularly sort of interesting, really. So, what am I doing here? I think I need to put that on. What do I actually need? I would need 1.7, because I did look at this and then I'd completely forgotten. We needed 0.72, so we need 1.5, we need 3 a second to feed that. And that's making 1. So we could easily, if we did have bacons in here, like that, we can actually move this over a bit. Camera's okay. Still haven't implemented the whole tweak I need to do to make that work and start using the HDMI in the video. Right, so that's our output, I guess, or maybe I should make that in one of the inputs. Let's do it that way. Quite slow, isn't it? That way. And then we need to get some power on. In fact, if I do it maybe that way. Like that. because we need this acid coming in from somewhere. Take that. Flip that. I've gotten used to the flip. I really like that change, actually. The H and the V. Oops. Just take that out there temporarily. I mean that out of 10 units, science jars, 1 goes to research. X and only 1 legendary jar is used, leaving 9 in the lab. What I'm getting at is the ratio of 1 to 10 between regular science and legendary. In which case use quality, not prod modules to create legendary science. I don't know, if honest. Sorry, I hadn't realised your question was quite that complicated. I think, I'll be honest, I haven't done the maths on it, so I don't know, but from what I've seen and what seemed to be mentioned in the Discord from like the beta testing is that it's actually still better to do prod modules. The prod modules in labs and also in the actual machines is actually like better than in terms of like amount of science you get per resource than quality, than using quality basically. And that would kind of make sense and also tie up with what I believe I remember the devs saying essentially, that they hadn't really intended it. It's available if you want to do it sort of thing, but it's not really like all that powerful really for science. What it is useful for is like compression. So effectively, doesn't that want to be an output rather than an input? It does, doesn't it? Effectively, if you're effectively sort of compressing your science, if you do it. So is that one's used in the foundry, isn't it? So I can pinch a lot of that to do it, I think. I say that seemed to be the impression I got. Let's say prod modules are still better in a sense. What you could do, I guess, is try and grind out, because that's the other thing. To guarantee more legendary, you need more. You need to recycle normal packs and all that sort of, or any quality, to be honest with you. You need to recycle the packs, and of course then you're effectively throwing a load of stuff away. And given all you'd use with science for is just to consume it, it doesn't produce some other item or doesn't have any special purpose. Effectively, that's all just wastage. I say you could of course have both. You can consume normal science and legendary, but then what are you saving? Because you're going to have a stack. If you're saying, right, well, I want my ship to only use a hub and make it as small as possible and as fast as possible, and because you want to do, say, Gleba science or what have you, you're going to have to use up an extra stack in that in order to carry, say, 50 legendary science packs or whatever. So yeah, so my understanding of the numbers is that quality isn't actually all that useful, apart from a few edge cases. I don't think there's any, a lot of these things, from me, it's like, give it a go. If you give yourself a challenge, in a sense that it feels like Space Edge is more set up for that. 100%. I got that one. My Grillo is still half manual, at least science and production of certain machines is a little bit bot-based and automated. At the start I produced some quality grenades, ammo and walls. Now I have some left and wonder if I should do quality military science with them. But it's a hassle to be left with some bits and pieces of different quality levels. Yeah, this is one of my, I don't know about complaints, but it's why I've not really messed with it, because it feels like a lot of, I'm going to use the word hassle. I don't know that hassle is the right word, but it feels like a lot of sort of messing about in a sense to do quality. Before you've got like, level 3 beacons and you've got the foundry and all that sort of stuff. So and then doing like smaller dedicated builds and using bots for it, and you know, sort of massively automating it just to get the things that you want. Feels like kind of how I'll probably end up using it, but it is very powerful. So you've got... Have you got everything? Why aren't you coming here then? I guess because of these. So, a lot of people have been telling me not to set fuel conditions on things, basically, because it can make so much fuel on its journey that it's dumb to leave it sat there, especially around Nalvis, because Nalvis is actually rubbish for getting the resources, but I don't know, I don't feel very safe leaving it. I've also seen people working out how to, you know, maximise the efficiency and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, my big dumb ships aren't using any of that stuff. Cool. Okay, so hopefully that'll drop off those modules. And that'll help us out. We then need to do a whole carbon build. Is this enough, though? I wanted... Well, I don't know, do I? Because I've not got... If we just put 1 in... 1.3, so that gets us, say... Maybe it ends up being 1.5, so that's 3, 6... Which is kind of double what that needs. So it gives us a little bit of extra. Which is good. And so we can... I think about sort of taking it downwards, basically. So we have to work out some kind of bit of spaghetti madness. Because obviously we want to make foundries, and that's the big thing, as well as then... I don't know if any of the other... Because I want artillery. That was kind of our reason for coming here. I don't know. Because I haven't really looked. Because I didn't bother. As to whether... Whoops. The... I know you need calcite for now for shell production. But I don't know about any of the other machines or anything. Because I've not really been, I say, looking. Okay, so we needed carbon and sulfuric acid, didn't we? Cool. So what we need to do, I think, is perhaps have a bit of a so we want carbon kind of coming in that way. Should I just tear up this solar? But yeah, I'll have this as like a reverse thing, I think. Because we'll probably need it in something else, I imagine. So we'll just have kind of carbon come in this way. And that means chemical labs doing the whole carbon, whatever it is, mixing or whatever. If it is, I don't see chemical labs in my inventory. Do I need to turn that on? Not sure about turning that on. That's an awful lot of requests. Can I not just request in some chemical labs? I try to imagine how devs use this opportunity, and if you have any feedback to devs, please say we want legendary lights more, with more range. Interesting. So as in a light that you mean as in this sort of light? Legendary lights, more range, with more sort of range on how far it goes. That'd be interesting. I don't think they have any legendary. Oh, health, obviously, for a legendary light. It does feel a little bit like, I don't know, they sort of... I don't know. I guess it's a case of like balancing everything out, but a lot of it, like legendary stuff, doesn't really do anything. You know, it just gives more, like the cargo, you know, landing pads, the quality ones of that, which I've lost like track on whether they're now a thing you can build in the game or, you know, not sort of thing, or because you can build them in the, you know, editor mode, But I don't know whether you can build them in the not the landing pads, the ones you send up, the starter packs. You know, whether you can actually do them in the base game now. It sounded like they introduced that you could, or that you could always do it, and people didn't realise, or what. I didn't really get like where we ended up with that, basically. But yeah, it feels a bit like you know, there's all these opportunities for doing quality things, but they don't do anything. You know, it's like, so. I mean, the thing we were talking about, you know, when they were doing the speculations was the whole, could quality trains have some benefit to them, you know? And all they get is health. So they're not faster, they're not more fuel efficient, you know? They don't have the wagons, I don't think have any real, base health, and that's it. So they're not bigger capacity or, you know, lighter or something, you know? Because there is a weight calculation. Greater than 1 or equal to 1 meter. Didn't know there was a construction condition on wagons. But yeah, it sort of feels like there should be more things, you know, but it's basically just health on everything. Yeah, just so quality belts are just more health and, you know. I mean, some of the things I can't really think of what you would do. So combinator, what would quality mean for a combinator? It sort of doesn't make any sense. But yeah, it feels like there's lots and lots of stuff they could add. But I guess it was just practicality and wanting to keep it, you know, simple in the code sort of thing. I don't know. Right, so we're making... Have we got those labs? We've got those labs. Yeah, chemical plants, rather. Coal. I'm pretty sure it's that, isn't it? Is that right? Is that right? So if we were making carbons... Yeah, coal and acid... And how quickly do you make? You make 1 a second, unadjusted. Looks like the modules have arrived. That's good. So 1.2. So if we were to try and maybe put a good chunk of a belt on, how many would we need? Quite a few. Again, I need to stop thinking that I've got power issues. So that would be 2.5. 5, 10. So if we just put on another one, that should hopefully fill our belt. Guess I could bring the coal up along the side, like so. Whoops. And have we got any BMGs knocking about? No, we've not. Can I hand make them? I don't think I can I? No. Not least because it needs molten iron, crikey. Okay, let's just use regular miners for the time being so we can get this rolling. I've not got any regular miners in my request list. Of course I haven't. Let's get in the range. Quality robots now show more details, I think, on the energy capacity. Interesting. They're like super quick. I think I showed it on the... I mean, I had a load of bot speed buffs, but the quality bots are really worth getting. They're, you know, they give such a boost to, like, you know, throughput, basically. Legendary bots are kind of OP in a way. Kind of OP. Sort of like OP. Yeah, so let's just stick on a load of mines. In fact, don't I have my blueprints? Smelting and mining. I guess we could use that one and then just... I just can't tell. I can't tell with these hole patches where the edges are. Something like that, isn't it? I guess we'll leave the efficiencies. Seems irrelevant though. Cool. So you want a bit of the old input there. That's completely the wrong way around. Don't know why I've done that. Like that. That. Copy that down. Cool. It's not a bad video idea, that, actually, thinking about it. And sort of, what else could be quality and what could it mean, sort of thing. That'd be quite an interesting bit of speculation. So how many did we end up with here? We got 30. Cool, so that's about worth. Building. I still have some issues with the bots sometimes, like me being very far out, but still in robobot range. Building something that requires the removal of a few trees, and then the robots just hover there and wait for robots from the base to kill the trees. Yeah, it's still, it's not perfect. It's, it is better, you know, 100%, you know, better. But, yeah, it's still, you know, got quite a lot of flaws in it, but it's because they've done a lot of other, you know, tweaks, essentially. Or there's other workarounds that they always had. And ways they did things. That it's like, I don't think we ever realised, you know, because we would build our bases to cope with one, you know, the way that the bots behaved. And so those wouldn't be an issue. But then, you know, they've made these changes, these improvements, and it's like, oh, right, so now when we're sort of not building around those things, they become more apparent. It's fine. I mean, it's not a problem. It's just a bit strange sometimes when, as you say, I mean, I think I described it in the video I did, but I had, you know, when I was building my base up, the first one, and I was just sort of sat there. I didn't have that many roboports, you know, that was one of the things, because it was very, very early. I'd literally just unlocked bots. And yet, and I was just sort of sitting there watching the bots as they were all sort of stood next to roboports, or like, just, you know, randomly there. Clearly without charge. And yet, oops. You know, not going to a roboport that was completely empty. And it was because the bots were like waiting essentially for other robots that were halfway across the belt, halfway across the base, to come and charge. And of course those robots had all run out of power. You know, so I was like, well, why is it, you know, why is it doing that? That doesn't make any sense. But it's just because it'd be very, very computationally intensive, I think, to do proper, you know, what would you call it, sorting, I guess, and sort of going, right, well, you know, move things around in the queue, basically. It just would be massively, I think, complicated for it to do those calculations dynamically, because it would change every tick, you know. As I said, they just go, right, well, a bit like trains. Trains don't read path, you know, because it's just so computationally intensive to have them read path all the time. So they literally just sort of wait until they get to a point. Oh, are they assigned to other bots then? Why are my bots not? Oh, I don't have pump checks on my thing either, do I? I saw them loading mining drills in my brain. That was pump checks. Hello, Rocketman Chronicles. How you doing? Welcome, welcome. Happy Saturday, and a happy Saturday to you. Also known as Factory Must Grow Day, indeed. Just like all the other days. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, me too, sister. Okay, so we got the pump checks now. Let's see if we can get those in. Obviously, I'm sort of botching this together as you know, basically just to get things working again. It's sort of like a step up from my botch together that we did just to get the technology unlocked, sort of thing. This isn't really going to be a good base. Just one that produces the science facts and, you know, whatever else we need to make here. So I still have that sulfuric acid applied from earlier. Cool. Let's use that then. Let's use that then. Okay. And that's not connected, is it? Okay. Okay, so that's only one pump jack worth. So we need to hook more into it. So, actually, we should move that anyway. My least favourite part of the game is hooking up pump jacks to things. I agree, every day is that indeed. Botched version 2.0, exactly. And we'll have botched version 3.0 eventually, and then botched version 4.0, and at some point I'll decide no, it no longer is it botched, and that's it. That's the good base. Or actually, what usually happens with me is I start another game. Cool. So there, I guess. Who else needs connecting? All of you lot, eh? Oops. Like that. Oh, that didn't align properly. If we put those like that, maybe. Could I? So, that's not got a thing on it. Those are thankfully in the line. Take that to there, say. I can hook all of those in. Right. Who are we missing? We're missing these. Is that going? Oh, that's a good corner. Okay, we like that. So those two there. And then turn you around. Maybe do that at that angle. I don't think I need this amount of production, but might as well hook it all together. I guess. And I'm sure we'll only have to do it later anyway. In fact, let's just put a regular pump in there. Yeah, I could do without the whole, particularly this thing. This, I've moaned about it loads of times, but the whole, they only do the outputs at the, you know, opposing corners thing. It's just designed to be annoying. No, that's the wrong side. That'll be okay, because we could then maybe hook her in there. With all of these going sort of like that, maybe. Whoop, oops. Oh, we're out of pipe. Can I make it just a couple? Oh. Yeah, I need one there as well. Oh, you're going to fill it in. Okay, you do that then, lads. I didn't think we were in Roboport range. Only just. One down there. Cool. So, do. You're not in it yet. I finished. Okay. Do. I think that's most all of them connected. I'm sure there'll be some missed, but there you go. So, do we have carbons? We have carbons. Lots of lovely carbons. Excellent. Let's let the bots do their thing. Let me do one of those as well. I get first legendary stuff using recycle or up and up from 0 to legendary. Well, I mean, there's two. I mean, I think there's two strategies I would say for legendary stuff. The first is to make everything below the legendary item, because when you make any kind of item, you can actually set the level you want. So if you want to make legendary combat destroyer capsules, then you can set the item as legendary, and then you need to feed in legendary ingredients. So what you would need to do is focus on, you know, making legendary steel plates, which you would need a whole recycling loop for, and then processing units as well, and distractor capsules. Now obviously distractors, because it's a chaining recipe. Oops, I didn't set the thing. No, like that. We would need to set that to legendary. No, it didn't work, did you? This is one of my bugbears with the whole thing. The menus are just awful now. So set that to legendary. Cool. And obviously you could have your piercing ammo as legendary, and your regular ammo as legendary. So in other words, end ingredients in a sense, because these you would need to grind up basically. But the intermediate steps, I think, is probably best done with the actual machines, just making them directly, and then you just need to provide it. And this, to me, is where, you know, quality is really all about bots, because you can just request in the legendary stuff. Obviously, have it made somewhere else, or I'll just make it here. And you can set the quality you're requesting to legendary. So then you could have those being made off-site. I don't know why I put the yellow. It should have been those with the iron plate. And I think this is probably the best way of avoiding doing, of like losing too much. Because the other way is just go Gamblertron, basically. Because if you then put quality mod, I don't think I've got a single quality module in on this planet. But if you just make regular bots and you stick in, you know, quality ingredients, quality modules, then you can every so often get a legendary one popping out. Obviously, you'd probably be better, I think, even there, if you were taking that approach. Of in fact, you can't do that, can you? I was just thinking, because you could set that as epic. If you put quality modules into a production of epic, I presume it will occasionally spit out a legendary, like at 10% of them. Huh, I never really thought about that. Because these just have a percentage chance of increasing the quality, don't they? But yeah, I mean, to even do epic and legendary, level 4 and 5, you've got to do the research as well. So, I say, it all sort of gets to a territory me of, it's like an endgame thing to play with. I appreciate they are super powerful, but I don't know, it just feels like a lot of faff and a lot of inventory management, basically. Why have you not made any... Oh, because the actual sulfuric acid is not... Oh, stop it, bots. Not actually connected, is it? I guess I could run it alongside there, maybe. But yeah, so I think that's one strategy. You would kind of have... focus your sort of gambling, you know, your... Can I get the quality items? Focus that more on the lower level ingredients, because to me you're then not wasting as much in a sense. Not, I suppose, that waste matters at scale, you know, when you're at scale as such, but that's kind of my thought on it. But I've not really, as I say, really played with quality as such. Just doing the odd machine like you see, and then leaving them off, you know, leaving off the controls and just making a million batteries. Yes, you want to be closer to the level of quality you want. Ideally 1 tier below, yeah. I think that's the way to go. I don't know why I've just taken that all the way down when we've got this to account for. Right, so I might get some tungsten carbide now. Ooh, looks like it's happening. I bet I've got my... I've got the blue in. Inserters the wrong way around, haven't I? Let's just do it. I'm not getting used to doing that though, because you can flip them now. Wait, I got that wrong even then, didn't I? So that would be there and there. Why are you not doing anything? Oh, because that's a ghost. Okay. It is your ghost. Awesome. Carbides of tungsten, which in theory, I think, means we could make some orange squash. But people don't know what orange squash is in. I'm trying to think, because obviously I like to do the silly little jokey titles and stuff on the intros and stuff. And the trouble is, in the UK we have some... So orangeade is what we would normally call, like, just fizzy orange. So like your Fanta and your... And that sort of thing. But I don't think anyone would know what orangeade is. And orange squash we have, which is orange cordial. But it's like concentrated orange that you then dilute. They're very British things, and it's sort of... obviously the audience... You know, as it were, is not quite so British. Right, so we should be able to get some of them in then. Modular. Oh, of course it's turned up now, isn't it? Okay. Put them on. It's going to film that foundry out, but that's fine. I'm okay with you doing it. Now, because we should be able to start to make a few. Awesome. Cool. We have made orangeade. Excellent. So, in theory, we could set up a production chain and get that back to Nauvis. I say in theory because I don't know that my spaceship will be able to do it, but let's have a look, see. So, your demolisher. Where is it even? Oh, it's around Nauvis, okay. So, if we put... Because this is a bit I don't quite get for me, because, like the white science, right? We got a request here for space science, but my actual space science platform is not responding to that request. Oh, it did let you build labs. That's interesting. It obviously let you do that then. Yeah, it's not actually respond. It's not, but it sends them down anyway. So it seems to be skipping a step, you know. And this is one of the things I don't really get with how they've done it, because it's sort of, I don't know, it's sort of too automated. It's like I want to be setting that, to be honest with you. Oops, why did that only go to 100? Well, I don't really want that anyway. I want it on a separate one. We want... What's it called? What's it called? Metallurgical, isn't it? Yeah, metallurgic. Cool. So, just call that. In fact, this would actually be... What's my naming convention? Can either be on this then? Volcanus as the icon. And then what? Metallurgic? How the heck do you spell that? How the heck do you spell that? It is double L. Okay. So metallurgic science. Cool. And then this needs to be like 1,000. Why did I do that one? I want to do that. 1,000. And then we want a separate like thing here. In fact, I could just chuck it on that same belt, couldn't I? Yeah. But we want it to be there. Feeding across to there. And that wants to be your bottles orangeade. Your orange squash. Now, say, if I add the platform in... No, wrong platform. It should just kind of do that automatic. But, as we see, we have an inventory full of rubbish. Because it didn't control it properly. I think what I could do, we could chop that down to say 400 anyway. Which direct, where's it going? Oh, it's coming here. Okay. That's annoying. So, we did that. I didn't want to do that. Sorry, I need to add that on there. Metallurgic science. I've got space in it. No, let's give it a different name. So that, delete that, do that, set it, and then edit it, and then edit it. Now it's got it a different thing again. That's annoying. So I could just get rid of that one, I guess. This was one. It was another. I remember feeding back on this as well because it's not. It didn't quite work how you think. There you go. You see. Editing the names. It was actually you'd edit the name, and it wouldn't. No, what was it? I can't remember what the problem was, but basically, no. So it was when I. What was I doing? I think I was trying to get rid of them. And it wasn't really getting rid of them. They were still there. There was some weird bug like that, but I can't remember what it was. Okay, so that needs adding on there as well, I think, doesn't it? So it needs adding here as well. Are bots rushing over and doing things? No. Metallurgic science. On the way 0. They're in the system. So why is that not requesting them? Where are you anyway? Not enough to fill one rocket. Oh, because they need to go in rockets, not on there, do they? I'm getting that all mixed up. It's not that one. It's this one. And we aren't making rocket stuff. Yeah. Okay. So it's set up and ready to go then, I think. Except I need to make sure this is cleared out, I think. So I don't know why it just, you know, like, orders up so much rubbish, basically. Well, I do. It's because it's rounding them up, basically. So send them down. Need to work out the Circuit network version. I think. We could also, we already set that to 400, so we could drop them down. That looks more like 5. Oh, it would be. What else could we get rid of? It's because there's no trash unrequested for platforms, and that's what I want. I guess. Yeah, let's leave it. So that would then, and it needs, that needs unload on it, doesn't it? So yeah, so if we can set up rockets, then we go, I think. But what we want first is a whole bunch of foundries, really. Do I need the? Do I know the hotkey for changing quality of menus? You mean the? I always get it wrong. It's like Alt Shift to scroll it. I don't know if there's a. Have they introduced an actual? Let's just build something random. An actual proper hotkey for it, because you can do no. There you go. There you go. So Shift Alt lets you scroll it. It'd be better if it did have a hotkey. If it was like, you know, if just in the menu, couldn't you just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? If you've got a because obviously it's context sensitive then, because that then brings up these. I guess you could do like Control 1 or something, and that should set the, you know, the quality level maybe. That'd probably be a good workaround if it was a proper hotkey. But say, yeah, it's like Control Alt Shift rather. It works backwards to me. When I select it, to me from there to go to whatever it is, uncommon, the next quality, I should scroll down, but it's actually scroll up. Which just says, I get it. It's like you're going up the levels of quality, but I don't know. To me, it just feels like, I think it's because it's a drop down list. It's not a drop up list. So to me, that is going down the list, not up the list. Don't know if that's one you mean, but. Hello, Elemento. Welcome. Afternoon all, says. Volcano science packs are clearly Irn Bru. Irn Bru indeed, yeah, definitely. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. That didn't occur to me. I guess because I'm not of the northern persuasion, as it were. But yeah, it's definitely Irn Bru, isn't it? Because it's literally made from girders. I think a recent update that made it possible to have multiple qualities on a logistics group. Big quality of life. Interesting. Okay. And Rocketman says, I am finding the best path to legendary items is to try to make the final item with legendary or epic level, the intermediates for those to be rare or epic, and so forth back towards. Yeah, sort of, yeah, build it up, as it were, from the basics. Cool, so do these have a limit on them? Or am I just going to, yeah, 1,000, cool. In fact, we could maybe set it at 2,000, so there's always a sort of a buffer. But yes, what I want now is a whole bunch of foundries, really. And we've got perfect space for just building all sorts of stuff. Now, foundries make foundries, and we have one, so I suppose if I sort of think, let's use some assembly machines to sort of space things out. So that would be like a nice corner. And we want to go, say, a few down so we can have some belts. A few up so we can have some belts. So if we put the first foundry here, we're gonna have a bit of space there, I think. Cool. So if we want to make foundries, we need all sorts of fun ingredients, don't we? So we've basically got to set up a little kind of bus, I think. Because obviously got the tungsten carbide. Steel plate is relatively simple now, isn't it? Because it is literally just, yeah, straight from the molten Molten irons. Okay. What about you then? Oh, you're advanced circuits, aren't you? Right. Right. Okay, so what I think we need to do then is probably bring down these onto the let's call it a minibus. Let's call it a minibus. We're going to need more, I'm sure, but we'll just work with this to start with, and then if we have, say. See, this is the Demolisher track, and it sort of starts out with this on the soundtrack, and it's really epic, but you're just fiddling about with belts and pipes and stuff. It's a bit sort of, I don't know, too grand for me. It's just sort of, I mean, I like it, you know, it's a good, it worked really well on a Godzilla soundtrack, you know, I think. Why has that not got any flow? Because we've not got the pipe then. Okay. So, do we want to... I don't know if I've got refined concrete. No, I guess the other thing is lube. Which we can make with... Yeah, chemical plants, because... we can do the simple coal liquefaction. Brain not work well. So let's put them on order. Get in the loggy area and see what happens. Irn Bru. Yeah, so say the thing I wouldn't say I discovered it. I'm pretty sure I just read it on Reddit somewhere. But you can basically hook up combinators to the. I keep looking. That's one thing I just can't get used to. Is I'm looking for green and red wires in my inventory rather than down here. I know there's a shortcut, but I don't have that shortcut in my head either. But basically, you can get it to set requests. So if I had something that was then reading from the logistics network, I think. So if you read from the logistics network, I did it again, looking for the wire. So there we go. So we can get that to tell it the network request. You see. Is the unsatisfied item request from the logistic network of this robot board, sends them to the circuit network. So, you can obviously read the contents and do some other maths, you know, but if we built something that it doesn't have access to, so there you go. These are all the inputs that it's getting requests for. So for some reason it's getting a request for blue belt. Where's it getting a request for blue belt from? Interesting. Is that right? Oh, I guess because my requests are on there as well. And I bet I've got blue belt some. There you go. So it's then basically you're able, if you just hook that up. I mean, I guess you could hook it up directly from for Roboport, could you? That didn't really occur to me. I just sort of assumed going through. Guess we could then set requests. And these are all the circuit network requests that it's got. And if we assign that to a platform as well, then it will just completely automate it. I wonder why have those gone blue? On the way 200. Where from? Oh, I guess... Oh, Sweet Ride. Sweet Ride's got a few of them on. Yeah, so that's probably... I didn't really even think you could literally just hook it up to that because they added this whole just look for the requests thing. They think of everything, these Factorio devs. They're very clever people. Yeah, so it's getting all those requests from me. I don't know that I want it to fulfill them. But, so let's turn that off. What were we doing? We were going to make some lubricant because we can do that one. And that will get us heavy oil, which we can just turn into lube, which is great. So we need to do acid, calcite, and sulfuric acid coal. So we've basically got that here. It's not actually producing that much, is it? Let's back it up with stone a little bit, I think. And what was I going to do? I was going to make lube, wasn't I? Why don't we do that down the bottom? Gotta lubricate your bottom. That's what we're going to do. So, let's see. We want to do another row of them. Because why not? Because why not? And then we've got a whole thing of acid there. And we would need something else, calcite. So let's go and bring some calcite over. Where's that? Oh, that one's going up for the power, isn't it? I think I'll just use another one of these, but I think we've got loads of kind of capacity. On the BMGs. Yeah, BMGs. Okay, so I'll fill that in. And let's just sort of weave that around. We have sort of two, because I'm sort of assuming I'm going to end up with a lot more demand for liquid metal. So we'll need a lot more sort of production of that. Don't run away. I know I went out the area, but... And then we can take that down. Yeah. That way. Across there. See, what makes this better is that it's volume spaghetti rather than just regular spaghetti. And I've really taken to remote building as well. I don't know how anyone else is finding it, but I've been sort of getting completely like well, you know, just almost forgetting that I'm a thing, as it were, and just sort of making all of my builds remotely, you know, which I never thought I would. I still kind of like being on the planet I'm mostly working on. I don't know. But yeah, when I'm on Alvis, I'm just like, I'm stood in the middle of the base and, you know, I'm building train networks and throwing roboports down and all sorts of stuff. Okay, so got the acid, got the calcite, got the coal. We should be able to make oil, heavy oil, coal. How quicken 10 a second? The 2 and 5. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yeah. Let's do it there then. Let's do it there. That. And then you want both of those. So, some power for you. Cool. And then... Oh, they. I don't. That seems to be something they do more now. In the with Space Age and the changes they made for to kind of optimize them so they could grab stuff off the belt. They seem to do the whole looping, grabbing stuff a lot more now. So, what was it making? It was making 10 a second, which didn't that produce? Isn't it just 1 to 1? Oh. Okay. So it appears to have sorted itself out, I guess. How the heck has that happened? Because... Oh, we do have a rocket. Oh, of course it would have dropped down the blue circuits and rocket fuel and put them in by bot. Oh. So it's been and done and what have you without me realising. How much have we got on? We must have 1,000 on now, then, have we? I guess it's all on the belts, is it? Oh, there we go. Look. Orange. Your lovely Irn Bru. Cool. So there you are. Your factory's all automated. It's just gone and done a research without me realising. And we're a quarter of the way to artillery. Good fun. Good fun. Remote building takes some getting used to, as I'm always used to being there to do all the building. Yeah. So initially I was a bit like, it doesn't feel, it doesn't feel like something I'm going to do, as it were. But then after a while I was just like, wait, I'm on this planet, It's sort of just completely adapted to doing everything that way, really. Which has been interesting. Cool. So that gets us a whole bunch of heavy, and I think I'm just going to stick like chemical plants on the end here to make some lube. Right? Yeah. I'm going to say it's 1 to 1, isn't it? Lube. Yeah, 10 to 10. Cool. I don't think you need that much lube, do you? So I'll set you as foundries. I wonder how much I could just chuck in to make a few now. Because we need the lube, obviously. Get tanks and carbide. Probably set on the belts. Chuck that in. Now if we put the lube up. So it makes them pretty quick, doesn't it? 0.6 of 1 a second, so we really only need 1. I could then put maybe... I'm doing BMGs. Don't they make... Yeah, they make the BMGs. Do one of those next to it, maybe. Cool. So, as I say, I don't think we need a lot. 8 a second, but then that would be making loads of them. Loads of them. Let's get more roboport action going on. That doesn't get us into thingy range, does it? Chest range. So how about... quality modules, I could chuck some in, but I don't have any. So that's connected there. About there. And then connect the power up. And we want lube. Just... Have they tweaked that green? That seems a lot brighter than what it was before. Oh, that's annoying. In fact, I shouldn't really be doing it down there. So, if you're the metal there, you're the other metal there, then this can be a loop, like so, and then that would need a pipe there, I guess. I'm sure it'll be in the way later, but we can always fix that. In fact, it might be better if I just automatically put it, if I just put it in the back, basically. Since I'm sure it will be in the way. Cool. The lubricant. Okay. You've not got anything. Oh, because there's no pipe there, love. And then if we chuck some more of the stuff in. So that got us 2. Excellent. Excellent. It's better than none. But can feed the tungsten carbide up. What? How many ingredients do you need? You're really greedy, aren't you? 4 of them. Crikey. Four ingredients. Yes, this will be across here somewhere eventually. And then like there. Right. So what we really need is some steel, I guess. Where do we want to put that in? It wouldn't hurt, I guess. Because green circuits and refined concrete. Refined's not the one you can make in a foundry, is it? It's just regular, isn't it? Oh, there's a pipe. Yeah, it's regular concrete. So it would require an extra step. Okay. That's fine there, but we want to make some steel, really. So, because we want, I guess, production of quite a few things, really. But steel is almost certainly going to be... Because don't you need steel as well? No, you don't need steel. Okay. Do need the tungsten carbide, so that's fine. But you need red circuits, not green ones. And electric engines. But then electric engines are green circuits, aren't they? Yeah. So if we maybe do... So if I put green circuits on the other side here... Quite impressed that the old orange, you know, Irn Bru science worked. Without me even realising. Cool. Let's see. So yeah, we need steel, but then we're also going to need a bit of iron, aren't we? So maybe if I make more... That for the time being. So one making steel, one making iron. Just kind of feed them together. We can expand it a bit later. So we've only got a couple of the machines, a couple of foundries at the moment. Let's put it there then, like that. Oh. Just disconnect it. Like so. Neither of you got power, because I forgot to do that. Let's put one there, I guess. And then... God, it dumps it out, doesn't it? So we did one belt of iron, one being steel. Like that maybe, or... I put that pipe right up next to it, haven't I? That was silly. Oh well. Never mind. And the other one being iron. In fact, maybe I could. Do that or something. Awesome. And then we need copper as well. Obviously that's a different fluid, but how about... Let's say... Oh, of course we've run out of foundries. Can I make another one? I could hand make a few green circuits and we're probably there. Cliff explosive, look at that. Cliff explosive. We can explode some cliffs. Nice. You don't have any byproducts or anything, do you? No. Cool. So yeah, we'll pop a copper one in there. Just so we can run it down that way. And then we can... Oh, too close. Too close. And that. So then we can make... green circuits. Actually, don't these make wire? They do. Huh. So... They do. They do. Do I want... I don't have a current need for... Because I'm thinking maybe we just put a... Would that work? Because I could just have a... what was that? Oh, did I make those green circuits? I did. Not enough. How many do we need? 30. 5 off. Hello, Pega, please. Welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Are we having a good day? I've also built a bus with iron, steel, gears and so on Volcanus, but I feel the bus takes up a lot of space. Do you think producing those items where they are needed with molten iron, copper, might be better? I think you're probably right, to be honest with you. As I'm working my way through this, it also feels like I think bots are probably quite a good answer to this as well, but I don't know how many robobots I've got. I guess I could be ordering more in and stuff, couldn't I? But yeah, it feels like bots are probably quite a good solution as well, because like this is, I just want one machine doing it, and obviously there's the lube, but bringing all that in by a bot seems a bit more sensible, really, rather than, you know, trying to belt it. Well, we'll just crack on for the time being. I will probably put stuff in chests as well. But yeah, let's see how we get on. For the time being, but yeah, it doesn't quite feel like I'm taking proper advantage of what it does, effectively, the foundry. Some old school thinking, shall we say. It's some old school thinking. But say, I'm mostly thinking about just setting up a bit of production for the... Get some foundries and then we can worry about using them a bit more sensibly maybe later. What I was going to do, I was going to put a splitter actually on that. Send that iron that way. I think you are definitely right. Probably. Right, so we'll just chuck them there. Right in there. Did we make those last few circuits? Why have you put a pipe in there, bots? I'm not a fan of you doing that. Yeah. Just getting free foundries from making foundries in a foundry is just like... it's just nuts, really. Oh, you've put it in. Okay. Yeah, I think the solution is like just like bust the liquid, you know, metal around and make everything from that. As I say, combined with actual bots doing half the rest of the job. So we've put that there. Doop-de-doop. I bet I can't even output that many. I mean, wires, can I? Look at that. Oh, helps if you put the inserter the right way around, obviously. Cool, so that gets us some of those. I could obviously split them as well. So it's not quite getting enough of those. Yeah, not enough molten copper. But there's only one machine supplying, isn't there? So that's probably understandable. So we would be lacking here the refined concrete. Okay. Okay. Now refined concrete uses water, doesn't it? Because we can obviously use the foundry itself. Oh, I gotta... Yeah, we've run out of refined concrete. And we've got lots of regular concrete. Now, I think that means acid neutralization, doesn't it? Because that gives you steam, which you can then... Oh, we never built them in. Okay. Which you can then de-steamify, I think. I think that's the order of the day. Let's go and chuck those in first, then. How much power we got there? 373 megawatts out of a tiny, tiny little build. Bonkers. Gears and wires especially take a lot of space, yeah. I think, I mean, wires are just a terrible thing to put on a bus. Like, full stop. My entire Volcanus base is spaghetti. It doesn't say who said that. But welcome to the chat. Are we doing okay? Oh, unless your username is a dot, is it? That's interesting. I didn't know you could do that sort of thing on YouTube. What are we doing? We're trying to work out whether we can make some refined concrete just quickly. And I've completely forgotten the definite recipe. It definitely involves iron sticks, I think, doesn't it? Here we go. Iron sticks, steel plate, concrete and water. Okay, so water we get, I think, from these. Oh, I guess it wouldn't be in my thing, would it? It would be in here though. Steam condensation. There you go. So it takes 1,000 steams and makes 90 waters using a chemical plant. And that's it. Nothing else needed. No calcites or nothing. Cool. So, you need your refined concrete. And what else? There was another solid. You've got them. So this needs to have the steel plate on it. How can we achieve that? Oops. Just like do that maybe? No. So I want to take that out, don't I? Yeah, very confused. It's going to be too far away there. How about we do some kind of abomination? There we go. No, hold on. There. And that continues on. Cool. So that gets the steel side of it, but then we also need the refined concrete. Oops. Which we could put on there. Could we? Because guess what? We know we need steel for it. Oh, it's done the artillery. Awesome. We're thumping through them now. Because there are all sorts of complication now to make them. Does the actual... Oh yeah, you see that requires tungsten plate. Crikey. Oh dear. I mean, the place we want that is Nalvis. But does it have any building restrictions or anything? No. So we do want to make that on Nalvis, I think. Or make them on Nalvis. Because I'm sure they're probably quite effective against demolishers, and I've seen people using them against pentapods. Get rid of, you know, the nests and all that. Not nests, the egg raft things. So yeah, but taking tungsten plate to Nalvis seems like the most sensible route. And then artillery also requires that anyway, but also calcite. And again, explosive nicely made on Nalvis. Radar already been made there, so that actually seems like a lot simpler recipe in a sense. I mean, it's not simple in the sense that we've got to take tungsten plate and calcite to Nalvis, but the recipe for artillery shells before was quite complicated, using explosive shells and something else, didn't it? Steel, I think. Obviously, it still had the radar in it. But yeah, that seems actually simpler in a way. Apart from the whole, as I say, logistics side of it. So, at some point, I'm sort of amazed it sent another rocket. In fact, it sent enough enough rockets to do more coal liquefaction. We're halfway through there. I don't know where it's getting all the blue circuits from. Okay. Cool. So, what we're going to need is what? A kind of... I guess we need a Nalvis order, really. For... like, artillery stuff? But we could just call it... I mean, it doesn't even... This doesn't have to be science related. It could just be them, and then I'll just pop on and say we want 1,000 of that or something. No, 500, that'll do. And calcite, some of... where is it? There it is. Oops, not 50. Trouble is to say, the platform just doesn't have the capacity to move that anyway. So how about, from that point of view, I just do a stack of each. I can just sort of test it out. Need to do some work on platforms, I think. So in theory, that's all now being ordered. See, so why isn't that? I guess it's because I've renamed it. But you would think it would update with the name. So maybe this bug isn't gone, or this... It's not bug, I guess, but weirdness of how it works. Because there you go, metallogic science is still a thing on there. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure about that. We don't need, like, 40 of them. Where are you, anyway? Stopped at Volcanus, okay. That'll do. Fine. 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 Refined concrete. But you see, the foundries make sticks, don't they? And concrete, I think. Through the miracles of... Then I need... So I need the water. Let's bring the water over. It's just full. It's bonkers. Productivity of this recipe is just like mad. So let's put a little thing out there then, I guess. And even one of those. And all we're doing is condensing steam. It does feel, I say, it's sort of a, you know, because you've got the whole space exploration thing. It does sort of sometimes feel like a simpler version of SpaceX. Not that that's a bad thing. In fact, possibly the opposite, but... Yeah. I keep expecting the recipes to be complicated. More complicated is the point, I think. And for there to be all sorts of byproducts and stuff. Got the power. Okay. And I guess I could just, for the time being, have a machine here. That will chuck some sticks in. And that'll get us a little bit so that we can actually make some foundries so that we can make the things again. Am I the only one that feels like elevated rails are a little cheaty in logistics solving? They make sense on Factorio, but elsewhere... Yeah, they're a bit sort of... I'm not... I don't know, I've been working with them a bit on Nalvis in, you know, trying to make my bases. And, I don't know, I find them a bit clunky. It's because of how they've done them, you know, it's basically all cheated, you know, it's, as you'd expect, it's a 2D game in reality, but it just feels very, very clunky. I'm not, I don't know, I'm sort of struggling with them a bit to get them to, because the supports in particular feel like they're way too big. I mean, I get why they're big, but and the distance you can go between them is like tiny. You know? But it's also, it's not like consistent. And like that. So I've chopped that out and put it back in, I think. And it deleted part of the track. It does all sorts of strange things like that. It's like it sort of lets you, you know, go so far. And then forces one in. But it's not, you know, I don't know. I don't know, it feels like inconsistent a lot of the time. I'm sure it isn't. It just like gives that perception. But also, I say, it's like, it's all really big and it doesn't, I don't know, these don't really seem to suit like a 2 gap, you know, like so that sort of gap where you can, you know, then just put that down. They don't seem to really work very well with that. It feels like maybe a 3 gap is going to work better with them. But then that's a completely different design, you know. I don't know. I just sort of struggling a bit with them, basically. I think they look awesome, though. And I really love the sound you get when trains are driving over. Like that. So why did it take that bit of track out? I guess it works backwards, does it? Yeah, from the end. Like maybe that's why I've not... Yeah. Sort of deleting it from the end. Which makes sense. It just feels a bit weird. Okay, so what are you missing now, then? You still not got any refined... Why have you not got any refined concrete? Oh, because this hasn't got any regular concrete. Has it brought me something? Oh, we got 3. Yeah, cool. Okay. Yes, I agree. I have spaghetti rails under them to avoid the supports. Yes, the sound effects with them is amazing and they do look awesome. Yeah, I say that. It really does sound like a train. Oops, is my camera frozen? No, it's okay. You know, a train going along a sort of an not elevated to the degree in this, but you know, sort of a raised track. It's a sort of very, I don't really call it like evocative noise, basically. So we can get rid of that now because we've got a few foundries. Because what we want to do is stick in, I guess, both concrete and... Yeah, this doesn't feel right in a sense. It feels like... I think maybe I'll start using bots. Okay, so how many loggy bots have we kind of... We've got some spare ones there as well. Get them in. And I guess I could release these guys. And have I got any others in the system? Because it'll bring some more. Yeah, I got 4. Cool. That'll make all the difference. Yeah, it's got like a standing order for more. Oh, and it's sensor. Cool. Get them on the go. Any more? No. Cool. So that should get us a couple hundred, are we now? A couple hundred exactly. Perfect. So yeah, it feels like, I say, I think bots are probably going to how I'm going to do this, I think. It just doesn't feel like it's really, so to say, taking advantage of what they can do as machines. So if we start putting in... I say that, I think I will still keep belting some bits. Yeah, there you go. Already got all that steel in. So, if we then also put on some lines there. But maybe I'll just keep that one. So we can make a few green circuits. Maybe get some prods in them. Cool. And I don't know. No, I think I am going to whack them in. We'll get the bots doing that side of things. Okay, and what was I going to do? That needed to be there. Then we can put extra chest on, so you're that steel. Let's just do that as that way. Yes, we could have one. Yeah. Nice. I didn't put them in a chest anywhere, did I? No. So let's get... Get with the times, you know. Get with your time, with the times. Modern world. Robots doing everything. Oh, we're fulfilling the request as well, I guess, because I just realised I've set the logistics thing up. There's no, they weren't going into any kind of chest, into the logistics system anyway. Which are you? You're the triangles, aren't you? And again, let's just do some big... Oh, that's not a big number. Some big number. There we go. Some big. Swap that over. Like so. Oh, it's already set. That's cool. Might actually stack inserter for them. Cool. So, we can then this seems like a very messy way of doing things, but yeah. It's fine. I'm sure it will all work out. I won't end up boxing myself in. If we then do... Oh, you need stone brick. Okay. If we do... I'm just trying to think, because the only other copper one... Oh, they do holmium plate as well. Ah. That distracted me. Sorry. If we do... There's also pipe and stuff. Oh, they do belts, of course. Huh. I assume you can do that on Elvis, can you? Interesting. I'm getting distracted. So, the only other copper one... Oh, that needs both. Okay, that's interesting. That makes sense, but we also need to give it plastic. Right. But yeah, so we do that one there. And then we've got kind of all of the things. Turn that around. So that would actually need to be this one. I'm still only feeding this with one blooming... molten copper producer. So if this was going into a chest, there, say, like that, coppers, cool. So that gets them, and then so we're starting to get nice stacks of foundries going on. Lovely, lovely. We could do sticks, do gear wheels. What else? Sticks, gear wheels, cot plate, the concrete then, but we can do that somewhere else maybe, because there's not a lot of room. Do we do them there? Does that make sense? Not really, because we need to make plastic. Okay, let's do these ones here then. Let's do that. Should have done that. In fact, so we can't. A little bit more consistent. Cool. You need iron. Gear wheels and stuff straight from molten iron. It's bonkers, isn't it? So, sticks, please. What was this? No. Yeah, gears. Cool. Give us a filter. Give us a... Oops, give us a filter. No? Okay. They're coming out so quick, it's stacking certain territory, isn't it? That's all that 50% prod bonus. Not even troubling the power system. I'm loving this. Cool, so that gets sticks. So we need to make the concrete, but we need to make stone to do it. Stone brick. And of course at the moment, I'm chucking all my stone in the back in the blooming lava. How about we set these up as like a more... Since we've now got... How many foundries have I got on me? I've got 3. That's not very many. You've not done a very good job there. What are you waiting on? Oh, refined concrete, of course. Because I chopped that off, didn't I? If we set up a temporary foundry here and make concrete. Oh, we do need water. Okay, so if I move it up a bit, like so, then I could also molten iron in. But it needs stone bricks. And through the power of requesting things, we can set up. That's not requested. We can order in stone bricks, of which we apparently have 1,841, which is nice. In fact, if I move that like that, it becomes a bit more sustainable if I also request in sticks. And, I mean, I could literally just grab the steel from there. Bot it in. But that gets us everything there. We can put some speeds in because that's a slow recipe. Cool, so that should be slightly more automated while we have stone bricks still. But yeah, let's work this up as a bit more of a proper thing, I think. So this was the copper. Well, these two. This needs copper as well, doesn't it? Yeah. So that's 48, 48. So we would want, because they're meant to be double this, and it was still thumping through all the sciences. So we need 50, 100. What? 200 to support that, and then, like, in theory, another 25, 20. So if we aim for, I don't know, is 400 viable? I don't think it is, but because I think that's 4. Oh, we got 8 now. Okay, so I think that's 8 of these, isn't it? Not sure about these icons. They're a bit confusing. Because I keep going to that one. Well, in fact, I keep going to that one for the molten copper. But that's the one that uses copper ore. So you can do it on Nalvis as well. Or anywhere, I guess. So it's that one, isn't it? Yeah. 250 copper. Okay. 250 copper. So, like, 3 of those will be more than enough, surely. Surely. Okay. So if we maybe, because I need more room, don't I, for the pipes. So we do something like that. And pump. Pump. Put one there to start with. Is that going to do enough? 1,200. And we would need 100. Oh, more than enough. It's only 125. Cool. So that's your lava. And then we need to put calcite in as well. Can I fit that over the back? I could if I move these around a bit. So if I maybe do that. And then we could have calcite coming in there maybe. It's the wrong place, isn't it? Not a massive fan of where that's ended up. But okay. And then, in fact, why don't we go with? Can I do it on the other side? I can. Cool. Oops. Why are you not working? Oh, you're not got lava because I disconnected it. Cool. So, we then need to get rid of the stone, which we can now think of in terms of stone brick. In fact, let's do it with that. Like so. And I guess what? I guess I want to turn all of it. Because these don't make stone bricks at all, do they? Oops. No, they make concrete, but not stone bricks. Okay, so we're into regular old foundry territory. Excellent. Nice to have a use. Nice to have a use. Cool, so we got that now. So I guess what we could do is have some kind of like release valve on them in a sense. So how much are you actually producing? 5.6 per second. Okay. And you'll be only consuming 1.25. So that would now be 2. So every one of them. Wow. In fact, I need way more inserters, don't I? Because that's like a belt's worth coming out of them. In fact, maybe I need to think about that slightly differently. Other side, isn't it? Why have you stopped? Oh, because the molten copper's full. How is the oh, that's not connected. There you go. Yeah, so other way around. Okay. So, if these guys are only consuming, what was it, 2 with speeds on, then that would be, so 2, 4, 6, so we'd need 3 per one of them. So 2, 4, 6, 8, let's do 10. And module them. Yeah, module them. But then, say, sort of think of it in terms of maybe having a sort of release valve on it type of approach. I can throw anything in lava though, can't I? What is in there that you're tripping over? Why does that keep... Oh, it's a tree in the... Oh, I see. I see. I see. Wait, 2 or... Yeah, 2. No. Okay. Right there. The basic point being that we can then just take the rest of it that way and chuck it in the lava. Oh. Help. That's annoying. So you should grab most of them. Obviously these aren't running at full chat. It's filling up with molten copper. Excellent. So what we now need to work out is how many of the foundries for iron do we need? Look at that, 20 foundries. Wow. Wow. What did I set this limit on? I bet I didn't. I didn't, did I? How many foundries do we want in storage? We've already got 39, plus what I'm carrying. Crikey. Let's do 100, because why not? Awesome. Awesome. Great stuff. As Troopman said, you're just printing resources, basically. Yes. Am I just going to let that run and run and run, fill the chests? Might as well. Because the rest will just go in the lava. Cool. Yes, so how much molten iron type things might we need? So these need stuff, don't they? These need molten iron. In fact, we got so many now. Why don't we put these back in? Look at this. Sciencing like a pro now. I mean, apart from it not having inserters, but it's a minor detail. Crikey. So this, I say this uses, well no, it's only 6 though. 6, 12, 18, 24, so that's almost lost in the noise. And then what are you using? You're using 35, so takes up to about 60. Call that 100. Another 100, say 200. 250-ish to support what we've got. Apart from, oh, plus you as well. And that's 8. So yeah, 250 will sort all of these current machines. And I imagine it's the same numbers. I imagine we can use basically exactly the same setup. Oh. Let's just see if we can't kind of copy, flip, paste maybe? So where would your equivalent be? Be something like... I can make cliff explosive now. Oops, that's overlapping the iron. Thing from Eiffel. We need to change that anyway. What was that bell? That was the cow site on that side. So that's the lava coming in. Need to be putting that in a more appropriate place. Excuse me. So that was 250, wasn't it? And these are making... Oh no, that's copper. I don't want you making copper. Iron, please. Whoosh. So, what do you make? 100, 200, 300. We're going to need more, aren't we? So we need like another bunch of them. Can't believe how many of the foundries we've just made. Out of nothing, basically. Absolute madness. Cool. So then that just needs to be chucked away. Like so. Except that I forgot the inserter there. Pop you in. No, not in the network. Cool. And then this. Anyway. Next connecting here. Oops. Like so. Cool, cool, cool. So we've got oodles of bricks. We've got like loads and loads of iron, molten iron. Got your tungsten, so much of that, it's stopped. Absolutely crammed full of orangeade. It's it's 5:30, crikey. Time flies when you're having fun. So, what we wanted was more BMGs, really. But that's quite a complicated thing to set up. How about we therefore think instead? How about we think instead about low density structures? Do I want to leave this? Don't really like it being there. Well, it's not in anybody's way, I guess, is it? But we could also put it in a separate chest. If we can think where to put that inserter. So it's got that sort of excess going in there. Camera okay. And then you want to stop. Because actually I think there's quite a lot of like concrete on order, basically. Yeah, you see I've got 5,000. Because you got the silo request and it's all a bit interesting. And I guess we could also put that one in as excess as well. That's refined, is it? I think that's right. Cool. Cool. Now, rocket fuel would require us to crack some stuff. It's just, yeah. Interesting they're taking preferentially from that first one, but so they're heading for this one rather than this one. Interesting. More. Cool. Because we could set up some red circuit production. We would need to crack. Looks like we're getting into the proper cracking of. I was sort of hoping we might sneak in some coal liquefaction, but I guess not. Because obviously, I assume that recipe's like better than the simple one we've got. So, have you got any of those available, anybody? On the way 100, it says. I don't. Where is it getting them from? Because the thing should have to do a round trip before it can get them. So where are they coming from? Because SS Demolisher shouldn't have any on it. Oh, it does, obviously now it has the request, but it didn't have the things, because it must have been this sending them down. Oh, of course, it has them from Silo. Ah, interesting. Why has this got calcite on it? Because it's not part of that request, you know, that chain. So it shouldn't be requesting calcite. And yet it's got all the calcite on it. It's almost like if there's because if you set up the request satisfied and unload, then it'll just automatically work out, oh, well, I need calcite in order to fulfill the request. But so this ship is not requesting calcite. It's not part of that loggy group that I've just set up to do calcite. And yet it's pulled in the calcite. Interesting. I wonder what... Are you doing anything with calcite then? See, because that is part of the calcite. But it's not pulled in the orange... You know, this hasn't pulled up... I suppose we've only, like, sent 2 rockets and stuff. In fact, how does this have all this calcite at all? Wait, I'm not getting it from the... Because I thought you had to do Global recipes to get asteroid, you know. Because can't you get asteroid calcite from asteroids? Yeah, but you have to do that one. You have to do the advanced one, which is a Gleba recipe, and we haven't got that. So it shouldn't be giving me chunks of calcite. That should only be coming up from volcanoes. So has it wasted a load of rockets sending that up? But then I think it stacks to like something enormous in a rocket, doesn't it? Rocket, yeah, rocket capacity 500. So it's just one rocket load. 2, 4, 6, 8. But then how is it sent up? Unless I did it manually. Maybe I did, because it's got... That would seem to be... Because that stacks exactly the same, basically. 500. So that plus that would be a full rocket load. So maybe I did that manually and I've just forgotten. Interesting. Oh, hello, Bacon Magician. How are you? Hello, hello indeed. Or hero, indeed. Are you doing well? Girlfriend and I finally on to conquer Gleba. We came more prepared this time, with thousands of belts, a bunch of machinery, mech armour with rare legs, etc., etc. Made starting much, much cleaner. Also came with nuclear power, which helps the start so much. Yeah. I still think, I'll be honest, I mean, I'm massively like the changes they made. I guess one of the things this emphasises, because I still think Gleba is third place choice for me. I don't think I would ever really go there first. You know, I think what you get from it now is awesome, and it makes a lot more sense as a first choice. For me, it's just not how I think I would end up ever playing it. You know, I'll have to do some different runs and try out each of the planets first, because obviously this is a mess, basically. I did the whole poll thing, and, you know, I didn't focus on doing a planet. I was just, well, I've got to, you know, I got to get to that planet, as it were, and just sent it that way. So, as a playthrough, it's a mess, but on my other one, I say, you know, I've been exploiting Falgora in particular as a first choice, and I think this or Falgora, and I think for me Falgora is my preferred first choice. But what was I trying to do? I was trying to make low density structures so that I could send some rockets. Oh, it's rocket fuel we're lacking. I bet because that's been ordering this in. I was wondering, thinking about Sweet Ride, whether it's got that there. But yeah, I don't. Glover just always feels like, yeah, it has got a load of stuff. So maybe if I just literally dump it off the side of the ship. I get that as well, and then loading, just, you know, because I'd quite like to do the proper coal liquefaction before I set up plastics and all that sort of stuff. It says the advanced coal liquefaction is the way to go once you get it unlocked. I say, because you know, I only need 250 more, which is like a quarter of a rocket, and you know, I've got prod bonuses and all that sort of stuff there. So all we need to do really is just sort of send a rocket, I think, and it'll be kind of sorted. Assuming Demolisher is knocking about. So I must have just sent the calcite up. Doesn't make sense that it would have any calcite on. Where are you? You're at Volcanus, and you're waiting for requests, which is a couple of rocket loads, I think. Is that all going to fit? It's not all going to fit, I don't think, is it? So maybe we should drop down. This is the bit I got to figure out. I don't know how to do automatic, like, sorting. Like I say, maybe you're just meant to have platforms with just insane, you know, numbers of cargo thingies on it, so you end up not caring. But cool, so we got them coming up. That's 2 rockets, and this should all fit in another one. What are your stacks on that? Doesn't tell me. 5 stacks, and that was 10 stacks. That's 15. And that's a 20. I need more slots, basically. Get rid of those belts and those undergrounds. I think we should. So that's that one. So we do need a bit more. What else can I get rid of? On the way 0. Okay. Because we get rid of the gun turrets. And that should be 5 stacks. Yeah. If you don't have enough room, by the way, I didn't realise this. If you don't have enough room, it dumps it on the surface. So if you've got any open surfaces, it'll just dump it on the platform surface. And then when you start making room, so you dump stuff overboard on the orbital slots, it'll just automatically hoover it up. So it's like having like invisible bots, basically. So plus it's like having a inventory explosion when you change your armor, and then invisible bots to pick it up. It's all a bit surreal in a sense. This expansion really shook up the meta we had. We played vanilla for 10 years and everything has been solved. We can't perfectly balance scrap or fully escape spottage, just got to live with the chaos a little. Control case, yes indeed, yes. So you're having fun. I don't know. Yes, I mean, I'm enjoying it a great deal. It is, as I was saying, I've said a few times, it's surreal kind of relearning the game. Is that all the rocket fuel used up then? That's very, very inconvenient of you. We've got none. I've got some, so I could maybe dump that in. And I bet the tank's got some on board. I must have got rid of the tank, have I? Yeah, okay. So I could... Where's that? If we drop that to 0... Oops. That gets 20 more. I should say I just don't want to fanny about. Kind of... Oh, it's not enough. It's because it's split it across a couple of rockets. That's annoying. Oh, okay, let's set something up. Oh, very, very annoying. So, what would we be doing? We would be cracking. We would need water then. That's fine. And we just want to set up a little bit... that heavy there, water there. But yes, I agree with you. Sorry, Bacon Magician. I very much agree, and I think I don't know. I'm sure there will be optimal solutions. You know, because there just are. Because it's a video game and it involves maths essentially, and you know. Maths, you eventually come to an optimal solution, but I think it's a lot more open than it ever used to be. Like that, except no, we need a bit of space, and then, in fact, I take that there, do that, and then that say, do you. And then pipes, and then inserters, and then power, and then just make me some. But you want to speed it because you're quite slow. Excuse me. Wait, you keep putting these underground pipes in this thing. Bad bots. I bet it's because there's no storage and like auto managing it. Right, are you going to make me rockets now? Eh? I think we just had the notification then. I think that was it popping up saying we can't fit anything in. Let's have a look. No. See, these are all pretty full. Yeah, I think I need to do a bit of work on designing a slightly bigger, like very, very basic platform. Also, you can plant tree orchards on the others. You can indeed. And wonderfully, the crane, inserter, belts and biochamber don't make pollution directly. Biochambers absorb pollution, so you can actually use them as well to suck up pollution. I think when you put efficiency modules in it, it does a reverse thing and they like absorb more pollution. I think. I know they it reduces the amount of nutrients they use. So biters won't attack them. You can have a giant tree orchard fully integrated with biter bases, indeed. So they do, I didn't know that. So they don't attack things like the don't make pollution directly. So they don't aggro on inserters and stuff like that. I guess because they don't go into aggro mode more than... They're not in attack mode. I always thought they attacked inserters and belts. But maybe they only do it once they've gone into aggro mode then? I know there is still the cheat of, you know, so if you have a... I'll just use that to represent it. So if that's a biter base, you can just spam pipes around it. Because it's actually... there are specific spawn points for the biters around them, but it's usually easy just to slap a million pipes around it. Because I think they only spawn 3 tiles away. So if you do that, basically around a biter base, then it stops them spawning. So it just makes them super easy to capture. That trick still works. You can always do that, basically. If you were playing on peaceful, that was a way of cheesing peaceful. No. If you're doing like a non-aggressive type run, you could cheese it. Right? How are we doing then? Have you got enough rocket fuel yet? Oh, someone's landing. What's that coming in? Are we done yet? Not yet. Just want coal liquefaction. I think is that they're if they're in attack. I think if they're in an attack group, they will attack whatever. But if they're wandering mode, they will only attack the player on military targets. Okay. Very interesting. I guess, and it's also, don't they define bots as military targets? Because you could therefore remotely surround them. Basically, you could do that surrounded thing. Just get bots to do it. Just have a clump of pipes and just remote place it, and then, you know, just so long as you had robo. I'm actually thinking about my other save file because I basically have universal bot, like a logistic network that covers my entire base ish. It's not quite, because I don't have cliff explosives, so there's a few gaps in it. I know because I fully surrounded several bases to use later for eggs. Biter spawns will spawn a biter up to 7 tiles away. Okay. Devs might have changed biter attack logic as well. Worms attack bots, but biters don't. Interesting. Unless, as you say, they're in that aggro mode. Interesting. Oh, hello, Hazer Solar. Welcome, welcome. Hello from Indiana in the US. Hello from, where am I? Farnborough in the UK. Currently designing a platform that makes quantum processors so I don't have to deal with poultry production on Aquilo. Interesting. I wonder how much you can actually outsource to platforms, because having them driving around hoovering up iron and copper ore seems like a fun, you know, from asteroids, especially when we get the advanced recipes. We have a rocket, we have 2 rockets, one of which is full of lovely, lovely science packs. Excellent, excellent. We're nearly there with coal liquefaction. But yeah, when you get the advanced recipes on asteroids, which I'm probably better off doing in here, aren't I? Asteroid, here we go. Because you get this not reprocessing. That's the one that gives you more, isn't it? Is it? Yeah, it's that one. There you go. So it's where you get the copper, and then you get sulfur, and then you get calcite. As well as your advanced recipes. But yeah, having them just floating around, you know, making everything on the platform sounds like a really cool idea. Just a giant platform that goes around making, I don't know, belts and, I don't know, pipes and stuff like that. Maybe it could deliver, you know, you could make all of your rocket fuel, and would rocket fuel work? Yeah, because you wouldn't be able to make oil-based things, would you? Because carbon, well, I don't think carbon works for the coal liquefaction, does it? But you get sulfur. So you could like make, you'd need to launch tungsten carbide, but you could have it deliver like military stuff. You could have a military one that goes around delivering artillery shells to Navis and stuff. That's proper 40k stuff, that, isn't it? Of like just a gigantic, thing that delivers enormous amounts of munitions to Navis. Yeah, I think there's a lot of fun stuff you can do, but I'm a bit carried away, I think, and what I need to do is actually finish the game. Cool, so we should be on the way, I think, unless it's sort of... I mean, it sent it out. So, Demolisher is on its way back, chock full of all sorts of lovely ingredients. I'm going to get the ingredients via rocket. Okay. Somebody posted one on Reddit that was a Prometheum grabbing thing. It was based on something. I don't know what it was, but the design. But it was like this enormous platform, and it had like these, arms on it, and they were just like grabber arms just all the way around, and I think it was like 20 thrusters on the bottom, and just this gigantic platform. Looking forward to designing stuff like that. Like on Navis, you can send down calcite for the foundry. Yep. Yeah, just have it going around hoovering up calcite, dropping it off, sort of thing. It'll fly the solar system, getting the ingredients. Yeah. So, it makes everything infinite in a different sort of way, doesn't it? It's not... pooping out some cargo pods. I wish they didn't disappear quite so quickly. It'd be cool to see them doing stuff. But then I've said before, I kind of wish there was like off in the corner here. Like now, I mean, I don't know how it would work, because I say you could make a platform that was just almost infinite. So I don't know how it would quite do it. But what are you moaning about not having room for? I guess I should really, now, this should be more like 500, shouldn't it? Because they both stack to 500, so it's just a full stack. What are you sending up on? Yeah, my platforms don't have enough room on them, I don't think. Cool. Anyway, are we doing that science? It doesn't appear to be moving. Why not? Oh, I guess they take a couple of minutes to arrive now, don't they? Cool. It's called Red Dwarf. Awesome. There was that one on one of the Friday Facts, wasn't there, where... And I got really, really excited about it being a reveal of a flying enemy, and it was just Starbug from... I say just, but Starbug from Red Dwarf. And they were just sort of showing off. You could do the whole new thing of for lamps, basically, where you set the fixed colour, and so they basically used it to. Draw a picture. I'm sure using some conversion software doing it themselves. Coal liquefaction. Here we go. This is what we want. Now, do we also want to set any other recipes? I mean, we could do... I'm just wondering if this is almost all I really want right now from Volcanus, because I mean that wouldn't be too difficult to set up production for, would it? Because we could. So I need a bit more. I need something that's a bit more of a bulk hauler. I think that's taking around those like locally produced ingredients. Guess my current platforms don't really have enough room. So we could do like the speed and... I mean, it's just at 2,000, so it's quite a few rocket trips, but... Oh, that's only 500. That's not too bad. But what are we into then? You know, we're into the buff researches. You know, really good buffs, but buffs. The asteroid processing. Oh, you need that for Aquilo, do you? Okay. Did they put more conditional ones on then? Because I know you needed the rocket turret and the heating tower. I wonder if they added that on at some point then. I guess it makes sense, giving you the recipes to get there. But yeah, I kind of don't need that as such. Is there anything else? I mean, there's the rail support is what I really, really want for Valgora, but we need both science packs for that. So yeah, maybe if we add on just because we can, sort of thing. These other ones, and we'll just see what's going on. But I think we're probably done for now with Volcanus. I'm gonna keep going. You know, I'll set it up so that it can deliver stuff. I think, but we can move on to Valgora next and get more, you know, get proper production of holmium science and some EMPs. Because my plan really is to do this. I'm not going to do it like, you know, I did completely max out Volcanus. I'm going to do it more like, you know, I get Volcanus to a certain place, and then I do Valgora, and then I'll do Gleba, and then I'll probably scale them up a bit, and then we'll go to Aquila. That's sort of what I'm thinking, really. But we shall see how it all pans out. But yeah, ability to make artillery was really the main goal. I still wish there were enemies on Aquilo. I guess they had flying enemies there. Yeah, so the one that was in the Friday Facts, the like jellyfish-headed one, the one that was like man o' war, basically, Portuguese man o' war. That was meant to be on Aquilo, and I don't know if I can sort of say. Can I say this? I mean, the NDA is all gone and stuff, but the original, or one of the things they tried with it, was that it stealed your stuff, because it was actually some things that, you know, people had suggested on my series. It wasn't an idea I thought of, this one, but it basically stealed your stuff. So, you know, you would have your belts moving things around, and it wouldn't really attack your base. It would just come along and sort of take the bits off of your belt and take them away, and they lived in the sea was the idea, because one of the possibilities for like the lore was that they are the Valgoran enemies, and that basically they've evolved and they left the planet and they ended up on Aquilo and sort of evolved into things. So they have essentially their factories under the sea, you know, they would essentially be stealing stuff and sort of taking it to their factories. I don't think it ever went anywhere, because you could imagine them building rockets and stuff. That would be bonkers. But, you know, what would that mean in terms of gameplay? How would that work? But that was one of the ideas they had. And the other was just more simplistic, I believe. It was just literally they would spawn from the ocean just randomly. They would just pop out and they would attack your base, you know, and they would destroy stuff. And so you would have to just completely cover your entire perimeter in, you know, turrets and stuff. And I think they were going to be immune to electric damage, I think someone said to me at some point. So your Tesla turrets would be useless and stuff. So that was one of the ideas, basically. But yeah, they never. The problem with it was really because Aquilo is such a challenge to work with anyway. And what testing they did it was just like having enemies there was just like, you know, oh, I've got to deal with that as well. Do you know what I mean? It was just sort of, you know, too much, you know. And so I don't think they ever found something that was like not a massive distraction from what is already a really complicated. Because part of the thing on Aquila, obviously, it's really, you know, you can cascade fail and basically you lose your heating and, you know, all of your base shuts down and the way you're making fuel to fuel your heating dies and it just becomes like a catastrophic failure. And so, you know, you would have to spend a lot of time building fail safes, and it actually gave a use for look, coal liquefaction. Nice. So we will work on volcanoes tomorrow. I don't know if I wasn't trying to give the impression we weren't going to do anything on volcanoes anymore, but in terms of my aim for this, we've kind of done it. We've ticked the box. We just need to make it so it's a bit more self-sustaining, and I'm not doing just random thrown together. Well, it's all random thrown together rubbish, but you know, we'll use proper coal liquefaction now and blah blah blah. So yeah, that's what we will be doing tomorrow, because I'm aware it is now 6 o'clock, not least of all because my belly is rumbling. I really have lunch. But yeah, so that was one of the ideas, was that I say it would steal stuff from your belt, which sounded very interesting, but it was just like overwhelming. And I say, like, it could steal fuel, you see, and therefore cause that cascade failure. And so you would have to build up a whole system for fail-safing your base. And one of the things that you could use, for example, was burner inserters, and that burner inserters became quite useful on Aquila. I mean, they are anyway now, because, you know, they just fuel themselves out of the fuel. So long as you've got a little bit, which you could drop off by a platform as an emergency thing, then you would be able to kickstart your base again, because you could always fuel them in a rather bonkers way, as it says in the accepted fuel, with nuclear fuel, basically. So you could have a burner inserter that was running on nuclear fuel and therefore basically never ran out, you see. So, and it could then insert, you know, nuclear fuel rods and, you know, start your base again. But so it's an awful lot of work, an awful lot of setup when you've got a load of other stuff you want to do, and they wanted to push people more towards doing the whole end game, the Shattered Planet. Well, Shattered Planet wasn't there, but there were enemies on Aquila. No, there were enemies on one point. No, they did have them there, but they removed them. Oh, shame. And hello, Ostkaka. Hope you're doing well. That is a sweet set of lore. Yeah, I can see why they removed them, but I am one that welcomes all the challenge. I wouldn't be surprised if there is an announcement at some point that you can, if you want, optionally enable them. That they'll do a separate mod, and it won't be 2.1 sort of thing. It might be a 2.2, where you can, if you really want to, add them on. Because my question with it really, I think, would be how much of the art they've done, because the art is always the bit that takes a lot of the effort. And so had they got particularly far with the art? Because another thing, revealing all the secrets, but basically they put biters on all the planets. So there were no individualized enemies. They were just biters. And when they did... So you might have seen you might remember a few screen captures of Volcanus where it showed like laser turrets around things. So you would, there was like a train dropping off, picking up fuel and stuff, and it had laser turrets around it. And if you think about how the Demolishers behave, that makes no sense whatsoever, because they don't, they're completely immune to lasers, so that was a rubbish defense. But also then they don't do the whole come in attack you thing. They'll just attack stuff in their territory. So those screenshots were from when there were just biters on Demolisher, on Volcanus, and they had, say, Gleber had biters on it as well, basically. So yeah, the way they developed that first prototype was it was all just biters, and they were doing a lot of arguing, or shall we say, constructive and discussion about how all the other enemies worked. Because one idea was literally just to have biters on every planet, and that was it. There was no variety in enemies. It was all just going to be biters. Because it is a very good mechanic, you know, the biters. It is a very... because it responds to you as the player doing things, you know. And so it's like a... you know, it's like a... I don't know if you call it punishment, but it's a reactive mechanic. It's very much... the more pollution you make, the more you have to deal with biters. The more pollution you make, the more the biters evolve and become harder. And so it's a very push-pull reactive mechanic, you know. Where comes all the changes? See why they... oh, sorry. So, and hello, Oscar. Welcome. It was basically... so what I was saying is that the brain enemy from the very earliest concept art, that was meant to be on Factorio, basically. That was meant to be... no, that was meant to be on Aquilo, and so that would be the... Aquilo. Did I confuse that? There were never any enemies, I don't think, on Factorio. It was the Aquilo enemies that were the brain-headed ones. Hello, Pete Schmidt. I'm afraid I'm just about to end, but welcome. Hope you're doing well. We love that. Doing well, yeah. I can imagine the discussions over that. Does this explain why Factorio still has evolution, if type evolution in console? Yes and no. I think that's just an artifact of how planets work. It's just like, it's part of the class in a sense. You know, the object itself that is planet surface has a bunch of properties associated with it, and I don't think they've built them in a sense in that it doesn't only add them in if you add if you tick that box in a sense, if you instance that part of the object. It's just there as default. So I think all of the planets have things, but yes, certainly there were because they put if you're just copying and pasting now this and its properties in a sense, then having biters on there that are evolved by evolution makes sense. And then when you take them out, you've got that classic video game thing of, well, if we remove this feature, then the easiest way to do it is just to not do anything with those bits of code rather than try and remove them. But yes, they did evolve. Volcanus does not have evolution. Interesting. Okay. I thought I had assumed it had the thing. That one there. So, when you say it doesn't have evolution, evolution factor on Volcanus is 0.3136. So yeah, I say it's not doing anything with a lot of those numbers. Gleber doesn't mean anything for the evolution, I believe, unless that's the proxy they use and they just call it evolution still. But yeah, the pollution, you see, is 0%, and it's all time-based there. And on Gleber, of course, I've killed a nest, basically. You're coming in and chatting now, and I was trying to do my wrap-up. Let's put this on pause, get rid of that, pause that, put it on my schedule. There we go. 3,000 of each size is 108 inventory slots. Platform has 4 times rare cargo bays. Has 187 spaces. Curious. 180 inventory slots. It is 187 spaces. Interesting. That's so cool. Nothing as good as bottle of fresh Fanta made Redunction. Hello, Excellen. Hope you're doing well. They could still technically hide evolution factor for Volgora and Aquila, though. Yeah, I mean, they're just sort of... I think a lot of it is just, artifacts in the sense of the code that's just left over, So just having a number that ticks up is not a particularly, imposing constraint, even if it doesn't mean anything. Glad they do not have biters on every planet, but I do welcome new and different enemies on them. However, I like that Fogora is one without enemies. Kind of sad there isn't anything on Aquila and Factorio. Something wriggly in the water, some storm chasing dogs on Factorio. Interesting. Could have been cool. Something running in the oil sand. Yeah, I think my personal view, I would have quite liked something off the wall, I'll be honest. I think having, say, Falgora being no enemies at all, I'm super happy with that, I think. The Demolisher enemies are like really tough, but like really passive, and you only engage with it when you want. Quite like that. You know, it's a sort of a, you know, makes a challenge, but you can just ignore it for most of the time. Clever enemies, you know, it's good that there is one that's like Nalvis. It does feel like to me there should be one more, and I say I would have quite liked something completely off the wall, like, you know, when you're going to the Shattered Planet, maybe there was more of a, or getting to the solar system edge, that there could be some sort of spaceborne enemy, and maybe it's attracted to your platforms and comes and tries to eat them, you know, and something big and kaiju like that you've got to deal with, and that would have been a really cool use for the, like, additional use for the railguns, that it could be, you know, them, or that something like that, you know. And I don't know how it would actually work, and probably couldn't work very well, but I say something completely mad and off the wall like that would have been quite interesting, I think. But there's always mods, I guess. Some mod could add something like that in. I agree with that. I'm kind of sad there isn't something else. Yeah. I think it's about true and fair. Cool. So yeah. So that's it for today. We will be back tomorrow, and I say I will be continuing Volcanoes. As I say, don't want to give any impression that I'm just going to move off. But the basic point is we now have the ability to do artillery, and that'll make clearance and expansion on Nalvis in particular a lot easier. We also have cliff explosives, so I can get rid of some of the more annoying cliffs that are kind of in the way. I'm not planning on just, you know, obliterating all cliffs. As I say, I quite like how they work now, but it means I can tweak. There are some that are a bit annoying. Plus, of course, we can get rid of them now on Volcanoes, but we need to set up all that production, basically. So that's what we'll be doing tomorrow. And then hopefully we'll be able to go to Falgora and work on Falgora next week. In terms then, as I say, of schedule, because we're now out of my mad period of just October being the most insane month, I don't have any plans for any of the weekends on November, so we will be going right the way through, hopefully until Christmas, where we will be, I will be taking a break at Christmas, I would expect, and probably playing something else. My current plan is to play Stalker 2. That'll be my sort of Christmas game, I guess. I used to love the Stalker games. And it's looking really cool, the new one. Is there anything else worth saying? Yeah, so we're going through. They're still doing the Friday Facts. They're obviously a bit thin. But I'll still keep covering them and still keep blathering away. Although, interesting, the most recent one seemed to lose me a whole load of subscribers. So I guess, but now that I'm not doing the speculation on those videos, people aren't as interested. But I am also in parallel working on some video ideas, things like that. I'd quite like to talk about, you know, ideas for other monsters they could add and other mechanics, and just as like a really, not at all, you know, they're not going to do it, but almost like you know, if they did another expansion or a 2.2, 2.3 or whatever, and added some new and weird stuff, what would I quite like them to add? So all sorts of ideas like that, that you know, might be quite fun to work through, as well as other video types. I want to try out sort of tips and tricks and that sort of thing as well. So yeah, there's all that stuff coming, but it won't be for a while. I need to focus on actually finishing the game, I think, before giving tips and tricks on it. So yes, I guess yes. So if you are brand new here, then you will notice a link to my. I'll get the pointing right somewhere there. To the YouTube channel where you will find the videos. It did go live early because it was so simple. This one I just set it live last night. So if you've not seen that popping up in your feed today, then that's because it went live last night. So if you want to check that one out, you can see me making a hilarious attempt at various languages. because it's difficult to read them out and not try and say them, but I don't know what half the words are in this most recent one. Cool. So yes, so I think that's it. If you have been watching, I hope you've enjoyed it and you might consider coming back for another one. I've been Trismegistus. This has been Factorio Space Age. Thanks for watching. Cheers.